In this video, we're going to introduce you to the Polygon Modeling Toolkit, which is this tab over here on the side. So when you click in on this tab in Maya, you'll find this dialog box here with all kinds of little tools in here. So for the first part of this lesson, we're going to go over just the different kind of selection tools you have here. So this gives you access to a lot of the tools you can access the same way here with when you right mouse click on to the Maya mesh. So you can access many of these things here as well. If you want to be, click on this, so that'll turn into object mode. So it's the same as typing the F8 key or clicking on this here. So if you want to go into one of the component modes, you see when you click on this, now we'll click on here. Now you see, now you have access to the vertices here. So same thing we were doing before, when you would pick on one of these, increase the size of the widget. So there we go. So we did the same exact thing before. Now if you want to click edges, this will allow you to access the edges. Okay. And then if you wanted to click on faces, this will allow you to click on faces. Okay. And then over here, this is UVs. UVs is also, it's related to polygons and polygon meshes, but it's got to do with painting texture maps and colors on objects. So we're not going to get into that in this lesson. That's a kind of a whole subject unto its own. So we're going to go back. Usually I like to keep it in polygon mode. I'll put it back on select so it don't affect anything. So I have the polygons here, so they're showing up again on screen. And this allows you to have different kinds of ways to pick your polygons. So we can pick on things, or you can do a marquee window, marquee select. Okay. And then if you want to, they have a drag mode. You know, you'll see that better if I put it in edges. If I drag on things, what you can do is just kind of paint over things, and they'll get selected. I'll try it in vertices. You can do it, but it's a little trickier because you have to get right on the vertex. Okay, so I tend to use pick marquee more than I do with drag, but you know, some people like to do that. That's especially good if you're have a really big polygon object and you want to paint over to select a whole bunch of polygons in an area, which we'll show later. These two buttons here you won't really do much with. Camera selection, many of these things we won't do much with. Symmetry you will work with later. This will become a very important tool. This allows you to model just on one side of an object if it's symmetric, and the same function will happen on the other side of the model, and you can choose which axis you want to work on. So it could be X, Y, Z, it could be world, it could be topology. There's a variety of selections there. And then here's some different kinds of selection tools here. You won't get into this until you start doing some more advanced work. I even don't use very many of these things here, but sometimes you just want to select by a certain kind of object or component. Okay. And then constraints, this also is more of an advanced tool, but sometimes you'll be wanting to move kind of edges around on something. So you'll just have what you call an edge slide. Now, the one other thing I will show here is soft select. We have gone over this before, but let me switch over to object mode. Let me go over here. This you'll see better with some divisions. I'll add some divisions. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, I'll give it 4 divisions. Yeah, there we go. We'll be able to see something better here. Okay, so now if I pick this, and if we pick on soft select, or actually let me pick on one here. Oh, it's quite large. So, okay, so now I have this thing called soft select picked. It's by default, it's fairly large for this object. So I'm gonna go in. If you see all this yellow stuff, then go in here and type a lower number. You'll see how this affects. Like, here we go. All right, so now we'll be able to see how this tool works. So soft select is basically, that's the polygon I have picked, but it kind of radiates out. So it kind of has it continues selecting outward, and it has a fall off, and you'll see how this effect works now. Let me pull on this. There we go. Okay, so now you can see what's going on here. So if I had done this without soft to select, this just would have come out as kind of like a few faces out there. But instead, what it's having is it's kind of like a stretchy skin. It's made the skin, the polygon surface kind of like rubber. Um, you'll probably start to like this when you start doing more polygon sculpting type things, or you want to basically get a form going. So this has some pretty fun stuff about it. And then you control it with the B key. You hold a B key, and like here now I can tighten it in. So that's changing. If you notice that over here, it's changing that number. So you see now I'm just doing that. And then if I wanted to increase it again, like say we want to get like more over there. See, then it's stretching all the way over back to here. Okay. So that's how that works. And these are all, your variety of selection tools here. So this is how every way you're going to be selecting objects here, or selecting components in objects to modify. All right, so we'll finish up this part of the lesson here, and then we're going to go on to some of the other tools we have in here. Okay.